Hey guys, we're going to pick up where we left off on the first episode. This is Vent and Validate with Cray, and I'm so excited to read my first letter, and I'm just going to call it The Nightmare Train. So it is about a mom and her kiddos, and I just want to ask before I get into this letter, how are you guys adjusting to the switch in time? Now, for me, when time goes back, it's okay because it doesn't really mind. It gives the kid maybe extra time. It's, just to get settled in. But when time moves forward, then it's a whole nother ball game. For me, I really had a hard time with my children when the time just went up. But I want to know how you guys feel with the time change because everyone is different. But for me, I wish they would just leave this whole time thing alone because it's really starting to irk me. So without further ado, let's get into this letter. So as you know, on Vent and Validate, all of the letters are anonymous, or I make them anonymous. Basically, is just to protect the person that's actually writing the letter. So anywho, so this is from a woman, and she wants us to know about her struggle. Her struggle, and this inspired me to make it or talk about daylight savings time, is bedtime. So basically she's saying that the word makes her eye twitch just talking about bedtime. So she says, in most houses, it's a winding down process. It's cozy, peaceful, transition of sleep. But in my house, it's a full-blown emotional roller coaster, complete with screaming, sobbing, and at least one non-existent crisis. Now, she said her kids are 11 and 9, both on the spectrum. And they don't just dislike bedtime. They treat it like the ultimate betrayal every single night. That's funny. Not funny, but funny. The ultimate betrayal. So she says it starts with warnings. And she basically tells them, she says, okay, you guys, 30 minutes until bedtime. What did she say? You think I just announced their favorite video game was being permanently deleted. This lady is hilarious. The anxiety builds, the negotiations begin, and then before I even finish counting down, boom, a meltdown mode is fully activated. She says her 11-year-old is furious, and he yells, "It is not fair. I'm not tired. My brain won't turn off." He's funny too. Okay. And she says, why do I even have to sleep? Or he says, why does he have to sleep? And she says, honestly, those are valid points. Then she goes on to say, I love to turn my brain off too. Meanwhile, she says her 9-year-old, he's nonverbal. He's already spiraling, crying over something. Maybe the blanket doesn't feel right, or maybe the toothbrush is too minty. But maybe bedtime just exists. So he's just upset just because he's just in meltdown mode. So my parents, you know exactly what I mean, because I know exactly what she means. Now she goes on to say, at this point, he's dodging, flailing limbs, trying to offer deep pressure hugs, while simultaneously reassuring, redirecting, and praying to the sleep gods. She says her 11-year-old is pacing and her 9-year-old is wailing. And I am so beyond exhausted. Now, she then says, after what it feels like hours, it's probably 45 minutes. They finally start to calm. One is wrapped like a burrito in their weighted blanket, and the other is clutching their favorite stuffy like it's their last lifeline. And just as I take a deep breath, thinking the storm is past, the 11-year-old says, I need water. My socks feel weird. What happens when we die? Then she closes with, y'all, I love my kids more than life itself. But bedtime in this house, it's a survival of the fittest, and I'm barely hanging on. Oof. Now, I want to start off by saying, Mama, I hear you. I see you. I understand you. You really are valid in what you're saying, because I struggle with the same thing with my kids. Well, I'm going to say singular and not plural. I too have 2 kids on the spectrum. One, he is a little older, but he goes to bed. Unless it's the weekend, he really doesn't give me any hard times. He's just a lazy bones. He doesn't care. But that little one, he gives me the business every chance I get. So I understand where you're coming from. And I know that you're doing as hard, a great of a job as you can. But just hang in there. It doesn't last forever. But I do feel for you, because it's rough. And I want to, again, ask the viewers, what do you think about bedtime regimens? Do you have one? Is it structured? Because oftentimes we have to have a routine with our children. And if you don't, it goes up in smoke automatically. So I was just wondering how you guys felt about that. But Mom with no sleep, you are officially validated. We love you. Hang in there. We want to get you some 5-hour energy drinks. We need to send you some extra Z's, or extra nap or something, because I know how hard it is. I struggle myself with. And then when you finally do go to sleep, if any, it's time to get up. Because that's another thing with autism parents. It's not let's just say if we have to be at school at 8:30 or 9 o'clock. We're not getting up at 7-ish trying to get our kids ready. You better have a big enough gap that you can get your mind right. So sleep, or lack of their sleep, that night element is very, very important. So it's imperative that you plan out. And if you don't, you're going to pay for it. So, Mom, I get it. And listen to what she says. She's wrapping her kids up. She's doing the calm bath. She's reading her stories and things like that. And I give her a hand clap, because I feel like I tried to read my son a story one night and he slapped the book out of my hand. So kudos to her for reading a story, because sometimes it just gets to be unbearable. And it's like you're in that moment and you just have to take a deep breath in order to just maintain your sanity, right? So I give her all of the accolades that she can possibly handle. You are amazing. Don't give up. You are a superhero, because I'm telling you, nighttime can be a whole war zone. You think as the night winds down that, okay, but here's the thing, parents. You're winding down, but your children are not. And those that know, anyone else is not for you is totally fine. But it always happens that way. Now, we think like when the child is had a long day, been at the park, she walked across the water park, whatever the case is, you get home, you settle in, you give them a bath. Like, okay, it's going to be a pretty good, they may be quiet for a little while. And then all of a sudden it's Saturday night fever. You'll hear me say that a lot. It's Saturday night fever. And I never figured out the antidote to that. Now, if you have any tips or anything that you can give to me or give to the parents, just let us know. Like, what is your go-to for helping your children sleep? Now, remember, we are a community, so whatever advice that you can have that could be valuable, that works for you, could help us all. So, again, this is Vent and Validate. And if you want to see more of this podcast or listen to more of this podcast, I want you to like and subscribe. I am located at ventvalidate.com. That is where I have my resources. If you want to vent or you want to be a guest on the show, ventvalidate.com. Check us out on Facebook. Also, check me out on YouTube. Let me go ahead and give you my YouTube. My YouTube is at Vent Validate. Yes. So also, I'm going to put that in my Facebook as well. Or I'm actually going to put it at my Vent Validate site as well. So I want to be able to connect with you. And also at the ventvalidate.com website, we are having a vent wall. Or not having, we have a vent wall. So if you want to become a guest, if you want to just vent, go ahead and go to the vent wall section. Hit the little drop down box and go ahead and it's all anonymous. So you're going to get tired of me saying it. It's anonymous. I'm going to make you a name. If you want to make your name Jan Brady, go ahead and be Jan Brady. But we'll read your letter and we'll go ahead and get you validated. Now, also, on a more serious note, if you feel like you need help, you don't know where to turn, and you feel like you just need a break, again, go to ventvalidate.com and go to the resource section. And I have 2 pretty good resources that I can share with you. One of them is, I believe, 988. It is it's a hotline that you can go to, and they will talk to you free of charge and possibly equip you with resources in your area. So that is a national hotline. The second is actually a listening hotline. So basically you're calling and that person is just sitting there listening to you. Now you can call up to twice a day for 15 minutes or up to 15 minutes. And let me tell you, it doesn't sound like 15 minutes is a lot, but 15 minutes is a long time of me just sitting here just talking. So I think I actually was timing like how long is 15 minutes, but you can say a whole lot in 15 minutes. So go ahead and go to the Vent Validate website. That's ventvalidate.com. Or if you want to submit, you can do a vent wall, or you can contact us at ventnow25@gmail.com. Now, I have a couple of ways for you to get in touch with me. So that is that. Now, every time on Vent and Validate, when we go to end, we are always going to end with what I call an affirmation, right? So this is the best way that we can get through our day and just feel a little better about ourselves. That extra nudge that we need, or start us off with a nudge. Now, again, I'm going to go ahead and get our affirmations started. And I want you to just take a deep breath. And you don't have to be anywhere alone. You can just be listening. It doesn't matter as long as you say it. Go ahead and repeat after me. I am doing my best, and that is enough. My love, patience, and strength make a difference. Even on the hardest days, I am my parent my child needs. And together, we are growing in our own beautiful way. Awesome. Now, I love you guys. I will see you on the next episode. We're going to get into some more topics. Now, again, if you want to go ahead and you have some suggestions, go again to ventvalidate.com and just go down to the vent wall and put your submission in there. I do read them. We are growing. So we're going to get a hold of those. So don't be afraid. Don't be shy. Go ahead and send me your submissions. Stay blessed. Have a great day. Bye.